As more and more people are now being vaccinated, it is therefore my thrust is to help Haitians who are staying at home build a good immune system. And a good immune system is based on the foods we eat. So let's talk about it. So staying at home can be a challenging way of preventing COVID-19 infection. We all know we've been advocating that aside from vaccination, that patients continue to practice the health protocol of staying at home. The challenge is what foods should we eat to help boost our immune system to fight against COVID-19. So let me show you some of the 5 tips that I share with my patients during this time of COVID-19 pandemic. First, I always advocate eating a lot of vegetables and fruits. You know, our parents have always been right because fruits and vegetables are among the most important foods for anybody to eat. Why? Because they supply most of the vitamins and minerals, including fiber, that our body needs to provide energy on a day to day basis. In fact, the vitamins and minerals that we get from fruits and vegetables should be enough to maintain good health and at this time of the pandemic to maintain normal immune function. So, as an endocrinologist, I always advise my patients to eat at least 5 servings or portions equivalent to around 400 grams of fruits and vegetables per day. Remember to always eat a variety of different colors of fruits and vegetables because they provide varied combinations of vitamins, minerals, and they add up to provide variety to your daily intake and meals. So here's an example of what makes a portion of fruits and vegetables. This is from the EUF.org. For example, 2 pieces of small fruits, or 1 piece of a medium fruit, or a 1 slice of a big fruit. The second tip is always very important that you reduce saturated fats with unsaturated fats. First, we have to remember that all fats are not created equal, meaning fats are not always bad as we think they are. In fact, fats play an important part of a healthy diet. It is also very important to remember that not all fats have the same effect on our health. For example, if you use more of the unsaturated fat, in fact, that's what we recommend because it has been shown to help protect the body by lowering bad cholesterol and thereby reduce the risk of heart disease. It is best to reduce the intake of fatty meats like pork or beef, high-fat dairy products, including tropical oils like coconut oil, and instead, as recommended by the World Health Organization, we have to consume more of the unsaturated fats found in fish, avocado, nuts, olive oil, soy, including canola oil, sunflower, and corn oil. Here's a tip on how to swap foods to reduce your saturated fat intake with a healthier unsaturated fat. For example, you switch. Instead of using butter, you can use sunflower oil. The third important tip during this time of COVID-19 pandemic is to limit foods high in fat, sugar, and salt. They actually go hand in hand together. The daily combo actually has been shown to really cause harm in terms of chronic diseases, and therefore the combo should be eaten in small quantities. What are these? Foods such as cookies, potato chips, chocolate, and sugary drinks. In the Philippines, we are fond of so-called milk tea, and therefore this is high sugary drink. It's very important that while they are high in calories, they are also high in carbohydrates. And we know that when your body is craving for more sweets, a high carb diet and high carb drinks will make you crave for more sweets. So any excess of these carbohydrates with salt and fat eaten together are then converted into fat that can make you vulnerable to diseases like diabetes and heart disease. So remember always that these high sugary foods and high fat foods make you crave for more, and that they provide very little nutritional benefit and therefore are not needed for the proper healthy diet. And my recommendation is yes, you can still enjoy it once in a while, enjoy them in small quantities and eaten occasionally. My fourth tip during this pandemic is always to control your portion sizes. So during this pandemic, as we stay home, it can be difficult to get portion sizes right, especially when you're cooking at home with all the temptations around. So for my patients with diabetes, a simple rule I have for them is to use the plate method, because for me, it provides them the idea that the number of calories that I need to take per day is limited to not go beyond the plate. In general, it is best to remember that in terms of portion sizes of each foods that we eat, I usually recommend a palm size. It can be a rough estimate for anything as one portion. But remember, not all foods have the same portion. And understanding what is the right portion looks like can help us stay in energy balance and, of course, avoid us from under or overeating. Because remember, as a rule, portion control helps us avoid any excess, because any excess can be harmful, which will lead to more weight gain, and weight gain leads to more chronic diseases, especially during these times of COVID, where obesity, if you gain weight, makes this disease worse in terms of outcome. So it is best that we should avoid gaining weight during these times of the pandemic. So I have provided you here a graph and a diagram from the EUF.org of what a typical portion size is. It can be palm size, it can be the tip of the finger, it can be the tip of your thumb, or it can be half of a fist or a fist size, depending on what foods you need. The portion size is an estimate of what is allowed per day. And lastly, it is best that everyone should stay hydrated, because keeping hydrated is essential for the maintenance of the overall health. Remember, water and enough of it is essential for the body's system to function properly, considering that around 20 to 30% of the water we need comes from our food. In fact, the European Food Safety Authority has an average recommendations of how much water should we drink per day depending on our age. So in general, I advise my patients, who are mostly adults, to consume at least 2 to 3 liters of water per day. And 8 to 10 glasses per day may not be enough during these times of the COVID pandemic. So drink more. The more, the better. And obviously, while staying at home, please don't forget to always get your dose of vitamin D. The sun continues to be the best and the free source of vitamin D that we can get now that you are not confined to the four corners of your office per day, and that you are at home. You could probably look for an area in your place that you can be exposed to the sun at least 10 to 30 minutes per day, including the arms and the face. And make sure this should be done without sunscreen, as this can help you meet your daily vitamin D needs. Why is this important? Because studies have shown that healthy individuals with very healthy levels of vitamin D can help keep your immune system functioning very well. And in these times of COVID-19 pandemic, having a very healthy level of vitamin D can help keep your immune system healthy, and has been shown to help you against respiratory illnesses in general. Furthermore, there's a recent study showing that patients hospitalized with COVID-19 who had sufficient levels of vitamin D had a decreased adverse side effects, including death. It is therefore best that not only do we get vitamin D from sun exposure, but also from a variety of foods that we can eat daily in our home, and that not rely solely on vitamin D supplementation. In fact, good sources of vitamin D at home includes egg, oily fish like salmon, and of course, fortified foods. So, in closing, in this short video of mine on nutrition during this COVID 19 pandemic, my nutrition advice for most of you during this COVID 19 pandemic, especially now that we're fully vaccinated but we continue to stay home, is remember that proper nutrition and hydration will continue to be very important and vital during this COVID 19 pandemic as a way to protect ourselves against severe illness. People who eat a well balanced diet tend to be healthier with stronger immune systems and lower the risk of chronic illnesses and infectious disease. And therefore, if we are exposed to the infection, we get breakthrough infections in spite of our vaccination, our body has enough healthy immune system to fight against the infection. It is also best that we eat a variety of fresh and unprocessed foods every day to get the needed vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, protein, and antioxidants that your body needs. But again, never forget to stay hydrated. Hydration is almost one of the key issues that patients always forget. Please drink enough water and always remember to limit or avoid sugar, fat, and salt to significantly lower your risk to gain weight during this time of the pandemic while we're staying home. Again, this is Dr. Jerry Tan. I hope these few 5 tips while staying at home during this pandemic will be helpful to you. See you again soon.